What if one of the most powerful cancer-fighting teas has been quietly ignored for decades? This isn't some exotic potion or internet trend. I'm talking about Oolong tea, clinically shown to slow tumor growth, lower inflammation, and delay cancer in seniors by over 7 years. So why isn't your doctor talking about it? In segment 2, we'll uncover what makes this overlooked tea a metabolic powerhouse, and why your morning brew might never look the same again. After 60, something shifts inside the body. Healing slows, inflammation lingers, and the systems meant to protect us start falling behind. That's why cancer becomes more common, even in people who eat well and stay active. But what if there's a way to support your body's defenses gently, daily, using something as simple as tea? In today's video, we'll explore the science behind Oolong tea, the quiet giant of cancer prevention, and the exact protocol that's helped thousands of older adults protect their cells naturally. 1. Not all teas are created equal. We've all heard it. Tea is healthy, but here's what most people don't realize. Not all teas are the same. When it comes to cancer defense, the difference is massive. In a 2018 study from St. Louis University, researchers tested several teas on breast cancer cells, including black, green, and oolong. Only one type stopped the growth of all 6 cancer cell lines. It wasn't green, it wasn't black, it was oolong tea. They followed up with population data from Fujian province, where oolong is a daily habit. The results? 35% lower cancer incidence and 68% lower mortality compared to neighboring regions. So, why is oolong so powerful? The secret is EGCG, a compound found in tea leaves. Think of EGCG as a cellular security system, scanning for trouble, triggering cleanup when needed. But here's the catch. Black and dark teas go through heavy fermentation, which destroys most of the EGCG. It's like cutting the wires to that security system. Meanwhile, oolong preserves it, keeping your cells protected. Jean, 72, didn't know this. She drank black tea every morning for years. But after learning about the EGCG difference, she made a simple switch to oolong. Within a month, she felt lighter. Her joints moved easier. Her morning fog cleared. Sometimes the body doesn't need a big change, just the right one. So, here's something to reflect on. What kind of tea is in your kitchen? And more importantly, what kind of protection is it offering? 2. The silent guardian in your cup. Once you know which tea works best. The next question is how it works. What makes oolong tea so different, especially for aging bodies? The answer lies in how it helps your cells heal from within. You see, as we age, our cells don't self-destruct properly. Damaged ones linger, triggering inflammation and sometimes turning dangerous. But a compound in oolong, EGCG, steps in like a quality control inspector. It triggers a process called apoptosis, where unhealthy cells are gently cleared out and healthy ones are left alone. Think of it like pruning a garden. Cut away what's dying so the rest can thrive. In a study from St. Louis University, oolong extract completely halted growth in 6 breast cancer cell types. That's not a small reduction. That's a full stop. But this isn't just about Petri dishes. Let me introduce you to Rosa. She's 70. She didn't change her diet or add new supplements. She just swapped her coffee and evening drink for one simple ritual. 1 cup of oolong tea in the morning and 1 before dinner. 12 weeks later, her labs showed lower inflammation markers. And she said, "My joints felt calmer, but what surprised me most was how steady my energy felt." So, what's the best way to start? Steep 1 teaspoon of oolong tea leaves in 190 degrees. Fahrenheit water for 3 minutes. Start with 2 cups a day, spaced out, no sugar, no cream, just the leaf. and be patient. Your cells need consistency, not shock. Now, I want to ask you, what's one small daily ritual you've started after 60 that helped you feel stronger or clearer? Share it below. It might inspire someone else. 3. Inflammation. Let's shift from cancer to something just as important, but often overlooked. Chronic inflammation. It's not the kind that comes with swelling or fever. This is the silent kind, the kind that builds slowly, deep in your joints, your blood vessels, even your brain. Think of it like a fire alarm stuck in the on position, blaring 24/7. Eventually, your body just stops listening. And that's when damage spreads quietly to your heart, your memory, your energy. Here's where Oolong tea steps in. One of its most powerful actions is calming this internal alarm. The key player here is a compound called NF-kappa B, a molecular switch that controls many inflammation pathways in your body. EGCG, the same compound we've been talking about, acts like a hand on that switch. It gently turns it down, lowering levels of inflammatory markers like IL-6, TNF-alpha, and IL-1 beta. In the Japanese elderly mortality study, adults who drank 7+ cups of green or oolong tea per day had a 76% lower risk of cardiovascular death over 6 years. That's not a typo. 76%. Now, you don't need 7 cups, but timing and pairing matter. Try this. Have 1 cup of oolong tea in the afternoon, alongside walnuts or fatty fish. Rich in omega-3s, the combination enhances anti-inflammatory effects naturally. Let me tell you about Helen, 68. She had stiff knees every morning and assumed it was just aging. After adding afternoon tea with walnuts 3 times a week, she noticed fewer flare-ups and smoother mornings. She said, "It's like something finally cooled down inside me." So here's your moment of reflection. Is there a part of your body that's been feeling louder than usual? Inflamed, irritated, unsettled? Your tea might not just comfort you. It might help calm the signal. 4. How tea talks to your liver. Here's something many people don't realize. Your liver doesn't just process toxins. It's also one of the most important organs for cancer defense, especially as we age. Why? Because the liver regulates insulin, the hormone that controls blood sugar and inflammation. But after 60, insulin doesn't work as well. It's like the key no longer fits the lock. And when insulin lingers too long in the bloodstream, it creates a perfect storm. Blood sugar spikes, inflammation rises, and cancer risk climbs. This is where oolong tea gets fascinating. The EGCG in oolong activates a special enzyme in your liver called the insulin-degrading enzyme, or IDE. Think of IDE as your body's janitor, sweeping away extra insulin that's hanging around too long. When IDE is more active, your cells become more responsive again. And that means less inflammation, better glucose control, and a lower risk environment for abnormal cell growth. The Saitama Prefecture study in Japan followed 8,500 adults for over a decade. It found that those who drank 10+ cups of tea daily, mostly oolong, delayed cancer onset by over 7 years. So, how do you make this practical? Here's the protocol. Drink 1 cup of oolong tea with breakfast, especially if your meal includes carbs or natural sugars. The tea helps buffer blood sugar spikes. Bonus tip, pair it with chia seeds, oats, or berries for added fiber. This enhances insulin sensitivity even more. Frank, 74, did exactly this. After 6 weeks, his fasting glucose dropped by 11 points. But what he noticed most? I didn't crash mid-morning anymore. So, let me ask you, do you ever feel sluggish or foggy after breakfast? Try letting your tea do the talking and see how your liver responds. Controlled oxidative warfare. Let's end with something remarkable and a little counterintuitive. You've heard of antioxidants, right? They're supposed to protect your cells from damage. But Did you know, in the right context, your body actually uses oxidation to fight cancer? Here's how it works. Cancer cells behave differently than healthy cells. They're more chaotic, more fragile under stress. EGCG, the star compound in Oolong tea, takes advantage of that. In healthy cells, it acts like a shield, neutralizing free radicals and reducing oxidative damage. But in cancer cells, EGCG flips the script. It creates reactive oxygen species, or ROS, that overwhelm the cell's defenses from the inside out. It's like a double agent, protecting your allies, while sabotaging the enemy. This targeted effect is why Oolong tea stood out in the St. Louis University study. The extract selectively stopped cancer cell growth, while leaving healthy cells untouched. But for this mechanism to work, consistency matters. EGCG builds up over time. So think of tea not as a quick fix, but a daily strategy. Here's what I recommend. Aim for 2 to 3 cups of Oolong tea per day, spaced across morning and evening. After 3 to 6 months, consider rotating in white tea, which has even gentler oxidative effects and helps keep your system responsive. Let me tell you about Elliot, 71. He was recovering from treatment, tired and frustrated. But after 3 months of adding Oolong to his morning and evening routine, he said, "It felt like my body woke up, not overnight, but quietly, steadily." So, I'll leave you with this. What if your greatest defense wasn't a pill, but a pattern? A daily rhythm that restores you from the inside out. Sometimes the most powerful changes come in the smallest rituals: a quiet cup, a warm brew, a forgotten tea leaf, doing work your body no longer does as easily on its own. Oolong tea isn't a miracle, it's a messenger, reminding your cells how to protect themselves again. And maybe that's the bigger message. After 60, your health isn't about control. It's about rhythm, consistency, gentleness. So, I'll ask you this. What's one quiet habit you could bring back this week? Not to fix your body, but to honor it? If today's video helped you pause, reflect, or feel seen, share it with someone you care about. Leave a comment. I read every one. And if you want more grounded, science-backed ways to age with clarity and strength, be sure to subscribe, because sometimes healing doesn't roar, it whispers.